Good morning and welcome to the fourth hour. Good morning, Denise. It's great to see you here. Always great to have you guys along. Let's take a look at what is happening this morning. You know, Donald Trump and when he was on Joe Rogan's show recently, remember before the election, it was a pretty substantial interview that Donald Trump did with Joe Rogan 3 months ago. And he was talking about what we see happening right now in California. Trump said, in Los Angeles, you can't get proper amounts of water. Now, this is Donald Trump 3 months ago warning folks, you can't get proper amounts of water. And he talked about it being in order to protect the smelt. And he said millions and millions of gallons of water get poured into the Pacific, he was saying, in order to protect the smelt. So every time I go to California, I say, you have so much water. They don't know it, he said. Now, remember that. Because right now we have, empty fire hydrants. They're going in Los Angeles, and some of the fire hydrants, nothing in them. And which is just absolutely shocking. Gavin Newsom is also responding to this. I want to give you Gavin Newsom saying, I want to get past Trump's comments here. I already shared those with you. Here's what Newsom's office said in a news release, that because of the high water demand, pump stations at lower elevations did not have enough pressure to refill tanks at the higher elevations. And so what was going on. They also say, no, there's no water shortage in Southern California right now, despite what Donald Trump is saying. I was trying to see if there was one other thing that I thought that he had that Newsom had said. So Trump has been on True Social saying this is all of his fault. He's calling on Newsom to resign. Trump had said, one of the best and most beautiful parts of the United States burning down to the ground, its ashes, and Gavin Newsom should resign. This is all his fault, Trump said. So then Newsom was asked about it. Here we go. This was on CNN. One can't even respond to it. I mean, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn apart. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts that I want to say. I won't. Oh, yeah, because Governor Newsom, well, you really are a model. You really are a model that the rest of us try to hold ourselves up to. So while we're talking about the fire, yeah, I agree. This isn't about necessarily blaming anyone, but But Donald Trump said 3 months ago, what California was doing in order to protect that smelt and the issues that it's having with the water as a result of that. So it becomes political. It shouldn't be political. I think it ought to just be absolutely common sense. But we see people who are motivated, unfortunately, sadly, by other things. This cracked me up. I have got to share this. This is David Muir over at, isn't he at ABC? I think, hold on a second here. I want to get the story back up. Yeah, ABC. David Muir. He's down there reporting on the fires, and I want you to take a look at this. I'm going to point to this. Do you see? Somebody has closed-pinned the back of his coat so that he appears to be more svelte on the camera. So you're down there reporting on the fires, and yeah, could you tighten this coat up for me? Because it's a little baggy. I know, so I want to look a little. And that, my friends, is why I'm not in television. Now, on a more serious note, I wanted Breitbart has got a story Let me close that window. I get stuff getting in my way here. Okay, Breitbart has got a story that I also want to share with you, with a message from Israel. Israel sending a message of hope to the people of Los Angeles. And the Israeli government said, everyone in Israel has been remarkably moved and shaken by the shocking scenes of these wildfires, which have taken control in Los Angeles. And then they went on to say, I'm sure that with God's grace, you'll live through these times to see brighter days. So that's the story. You can find that one at Breitbart. Meanwhile, what's going on? Left-wing media. What is left-wing media focused on? Let's go to Axios and take a look. Here you go. You can take a look at the top stories. Number one. See, number two is the LA fire. Number two. In other words, it's not the most important story. That's the number two story at Axios. Number one story, behind the curtain, Trump's ever expansive power. Oh my God. Does Axios come with a barf bag included? Because I'm about to lose my my breakfast here as a result of this. By the way, well, those of you who are NFL fans, the NFL is making a contingency plan then, because we've got the playoffs. Los Angeles Rams will be hosting the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC wildcard round. And so if they have to move the game, they can do that. They will move it to Arizona, to State Farm Stadium in Glendale. So they've got a backup plan in the event that they're not able to play the game then in Los Angeles because of the fires that we have seen. Also this morning, a few other stories I want to share with you. What are the Democrats doing? Let's go take a look at what Senator Chuck Schumer has got to say. He's pushing his Democrat Senate colleagues to create fireworks during the confirmation hearings. Republicans spent 4 years attacking the Democratic brand. We need to use the hearings to begin returning the favor. It's the same old thing. Same old thing. He said, this is at a lunch on Tuesday, they should interrogate Trump nominees on Trump's agenda and what they believe it means for Americans. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. Senator Ron Johnson, of course, is right. You know, he said, I really am not expecting any help from Democrats. I wish we were going to get some, but I doubt it. I agree. Yeah, stick with that, Senator Johnson. I think you're absolutely correct, sir. I'll be satisfied if they don't obstruct our process of moving forward and confirming those people. So we've got Chuck Schumer planning all kinds of Democrat fireworks during the confirmation. You knew this was coming. So the Democrats, what are we going to do to change? We've got to change. We're losing. What do we do to change? And here's Schumer, full steam ahead. Keep doing the same mixed up junk that they have been doing. Don't get it. You know, I mentioned Senator John Fetterman this morning. And he was talking about all of this stuff and some of the comments that's got everybody up in arms, Donald Trump making, about in regard to Greenland and Canada and Mexico. And so everybody's up in arms. And in regard to the Greenland comments that Trump made, Fetterman is saying, let's take a listen. Let's explore this. Let's take a look at this. Let's have a conversation. And he's warning the Democrats. Now, again, I think a lot of us have been warning the Democrats, but when you have a Democrat who's warning the Democrats, I think it's noteworthy. And Fetterman is saying, their response, everything is, they just respond like, their hair's on fire and with hysteria and we can't allow this to happen. You got Schumer saying this, we're going to, there are going to be fireworks at the hearing. And it's, who does that serve? Who does that serve well? Other than the Democratic brand. Who does that serve well? It doesn't serve any. How does that serve Americans? That's what I'm looking for. And I'm not just from the Democrats. I'm looking for that from every politician. What's in it for all of us? Why should we care? And why do we need to be invested in this? Why is this a good idea, or why is this a bad idea? Let's get those things out there. So the Democrats and all of this conversation, we've got to change the party. We've got to, James Carville out there here. What was I telling you just within the last few weeks about James Carville and, picking up the pieces and, no, you're not. You're throwing the pieces in our faces. Again, hardly a big shock and surprise. It's just absolutely crazy. Robert is, it's a great point. Wally Wingert. I haven't talked to Wally in a while. Wally and I have had some conversation. It's not a bad idea. I'll reach out to him, see how he's doing. But Wally Wingert is in Los Angeles, and he has been for a number of years. It's pretty wild. So, Sean, I agree with you. I thought Fetterman's comments, again, I don't agree with John Fetterman on everything, but at least he's reasonable. At least you feel like you can have a conversation with him. At least that's the perception that I have of Senator Fetterman, is we could have a conversation. Now, I know we're going to disagree about some things. I know we approach things from different points of view, but at least we can talk. He's not nuts. He's not crazy. He's not out there wanting to start the world on fire. He's not out there like Chuck Schumer wanting to create fireworks at the Senate hearings. I mean, just give me a break. It gets to be too much, I've got to tell you. Stephanie, I think you're right. She's saying this of Fetterman. I agree. He is certainly one of the more sensible Democrats who is out there. And that's pretty tough to find these days. You don't find a lot of sensible Democrats because most of them are in lockstep. We're marching over the cliff. Are you ready? And away they go. It's like, come on, what's going on? There was one other story I wanted to put in front of you this morning. I had this in the stack of stuff, and I didn't have time to get to it on the radio show. I'm very interested in the Department of Government Efficiency. And they are now hiring a small number of full-time salaried employees. So let's see what they're saying about this. Keep in mind now, they're not an official government entity. So they are not part of the federal government. The Department of Government Efficiency will not be part of the federal government, because I can just hear some of the wailing from Democrats regarding this. So they're hiring a few employees, and I think these are old comments by Trump initially when he announced Doge. So recruiting for a very small number of full-time salaried HR, IT, and finance positions. If interested, please DM us your resume and a few bullet points about why you are interested in Doge. So I'm just seeing this story. This was at the end of December, apparently, that they had posted that. Trying to see if anybody's got any comments here that absolutely must be shared. I appreciate all of what you guys are saying. Robert, that's a great thought about Wally Wingert. I will reach out to him. I appreciate it. I think we're going to leave it there for today, my friend. I want to thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button before you leave. Come on, because I can see how many of you are watching. And about 5 or 6 of you will hit the like button. And there will be many more than that who won't. Please hit the like button before you leave. I would really, really appreciate it. Let other folks know about what we're doing. Bring them into the fold. The more the merrier, I think. And we'll leave it there for today. Thanks so much for letting me join you both on the air and here on social media. It's fun for me. I appreciate these get-togethers. So you take care. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care until then.